the only job that has been left for me is now to introduce a man, I believe, who needs very little introduction, so he's getting very little introduction. Tim McGarry, I'm sure you all know. He has often made us smile and laugh, and sometimes he has meant to do so. So without further ado, Tim.
A career high. I have now been warmed up by Naomi Long. And not many men can say that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, by the way, still waiting on the honorary degree. Can I say what an honour and privilege it is for me to be here. It's an honour for me to be even a small part of the Ulster Bank Belfast Festival at Queen's. Please don't worry, I'm only doing 2 nights. Don't worry about the fact that because I did 2 nights, I was therefore ineligible for Strictly Come Dancing. I've got over it. But I am absolutely delighted to be part of this festival, because look at the names involved in this festival. It's absolutely astonishing, the musicians and the artists. Noam Chomsky's coming, with Michael Longley, Seamus Heaney, and every single one of those people will be buying tickets to see Tim McGarry's Irish history lesson on the 29th and 30th at the studio at the waterfront. Book early, book often, credit cards accepted. I'm particularly looking forward to Seamus Heaney attending my Irish history lesson, because let's be honest, you know, he's not bad with the iron pen, you know, he's won a couple of awards and what have you, yada yada, but God love him, he thinks that hope and history rhyme. Mystery and history rhyme. Hope and pope, slope, dope, misanthrope rhyme. Not hope and history. And my show will be dripping with historical goodies like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tackling the thorny subject of Irish history. I used to tackle paramilitaries and politicians, and I thought I'd do something less controversial. Cromwell. The famine, 1916, and the Troubles. Just to lighten it up a bit. I won't be your guide, I will be like a teacher. I want to teach. Well, I'm not a proper teacher, obviously. I have qualifications. And a sense of humour. And I like kids. And if I was a proper teacher, I'd do the first night, retire on a full pension, and then come back the second night and demand more money for it. The BBC will hopefully be interested in actually filming the show, Tim McGarry's Irish History Lesson. Though if it does get to BBC Northern Ireland, it'll change slightly. It'll be Tim McGarry's Irish History Lesson, presented by Gary Lineker. And the laundry model. Well, I'd watch it anyway. After the Battle of the Boyne in 1690, King William crossed the river in triumph, and he bumped into King James, who was sitting by a rock, bawling his eyes out, inconsolably was. And King Billy said, "What's the matter?" He said, "What's the matter?" He said, "I've just lost the Battle of the Boyne, my army's scattered, it's a disaster!" And King Billy slapped him on the back and said, "Never worry. See, in a couple of weeks, it'll all be forgotten about." Those are some of the issues we will be tackling, ladies and gentlemen, because I think we take history slightly too seriously in this country. There are certain people who know absolutely nothing about Irish history. I call those people Protestants. The number of Protestants I know who have learned nothing about Irish history is shocking, and I want them all to come to my show because they will learn something. It only lasts for an hour, but at the end of the hour, they will be eligible for an A-level. I'm not saying A-levels are getting easier, I just saw a bloke in town the other day shouting, 3 A-levels for £1. Some people know nothing about Irish history, and some people know rather too much about certain bits of Irish history. If you've ever been on the Republican Sinn Féin website, and let's face it, who hasn't been, you will find that they have a history section, which is basically a list of massacres and atrocities. Like the fact that Charlie McGettigan was murdered by the British States. They shot him down like a dog, and then they shot his dog down like a chicken. And they murdered him simply because he was a Catholic, using his cottage as an arms factory. Mr. Fukuyama suggested that with the advent of liberal democracy and the collapse of the Soviet Union that we had reached what he called the end of history. This was disputed, of course, by certain Marxist historians. There was also various theories on history, social history, economic history, feminist history, and of course we have revisionist history. And all of those theories will be absent from my lecture, where we'll be discussing issues like why the 12th shouldn't really be on the 12th, why the Catholic Church actually hates Fenians, and how the last 40 years actually were damn all to do with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your show and enjoy the rest of the festival. I'm Tim McGarry. Thank you very much.